Hello, welcome to VTube. Today we have a very special guest who is pioneer in fashion industry, who has been running a company, Konception Design, for years. He has great experience of decades in this industry.
I've worked in India for almost 7, 8 years. Then I've worked in China, Cambodia, Vietnam. I was in LA. I was in the UK for quite a long time, for almost 13, 14 years. And I wanted to create an ecosystem wherein I wanted to put the best practices of everywhere into one company. That's how I came up with the idea of Konception Designs.
How technology is going to help him, how he is inclined for all such innovation. So we are bringing Mr. Vaibhav Sharma on VTube today.
Hello, Narinder. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Vaibhav, for coming. So I think we should start with a very basic question that today we are talking a lot about artificial intelligence, technologies, innovation, and fashion is such an industry where they are always ahead in this kind of initiatives. So what do you think, new AI, new technologies, are these positive in your industry or these are more negative on your industry? So if you can please put some light on that, that would be great help.
Sure. First of all, thank you for inviting me, Narinder. It's been a pleasure being on the podcast. So, to speak about fashion industry, see, the technology has been there since the last 15, 20 years in fashion industry, but it did not find its due respect in the industry. But what we have seen in the recent past, AI has been a market disrupting attitude for sure. And it's more of a positive than a negative. But whenever there is a disruption in the market, it definitely comes with its own pros and cons. But here I would say it's more of a positive impact than a negative impact.
Awesome. Would you like to give little more explanation on that?
Sure. So what we can do is let's take an example of a journey of a garment. So we'll break it down in 3 sections. First is till we get the PO,
Right.
till the till we get the garment in production. The second part is the production. The third part is the retail side. So, good old days, we used to start our season probably a year in advance or maybe more than a year in advance, where we used to make trend boards, mood boards, trim sourcing, fabric sourcing, product development. And then after a year, that garment will go into production. So, after AI, that timeline of 1 year has shrunk down to almost 3 months or 4 months, 5 months. So it's almost half of it. Then comes the production part, where I would say the AI is gonna be very beneficial for the production because ours is a very labor-intensive industry. So I was speaking to someone and he was in Vietnam a couple of days back, and he has implemented AI technology in one of the factories. So there he said, I have increased the efficiency of a line by 15%. And I was very curious, like increasing efficiency of 15% is quite a lot. So I asked a little bit more detail. So he said, when I implemented the AI advised that operator number 5 is running less on the threshold. So the machine was not running properly. So once they fixed the machine, the efficiency got increased by almost 15%. Then in production itself, I call it carton to wardrobe. So what does it mean? That when a garment goes into a carton, till the time it reaches a customer's wardrobe, that's what I called carton to wardrobe. So in old times, this timeline was almost 4 to 6 months, but now that has decreased to probably 15 days to a month.
Amazing.
So which has decreased a lot, which has shrunk down a lot. And in the retail side, we all are seeing the impact of AI, the chatbot and everything. So if you go to a store to buy a t-shirt, we end up buying 6 garments. So it's all thanks to AI. But that's the positive side. So coming to the negative side, because everything has its own pros and cons, uh, I would share interesting data with you that textile industry is the second most pollution creating industry in the world after oil. So, if we don't utilize AI consciously, it's going to backfire the complete fashion industry as well. So we need to be very conscious of our efforts that we should leave a clean and green planet for our generations to come. So yeah, that's the negative side of AI. But if we use it consciously, I'm sure we can reap much more benefits out of that.
Absolutely. That's a great point. And as I am from the technology side, so I can understand how intensively processing, storage is required to run any artificial intelligence and how much polluted it can create on the earth. So, excellent point. Thank you, Vaibhav.
Thank you.
Now, I am coming to a very interesting article of by McKinsey, a recent article which excites the industry, global fashion industry, but I am sure it would excite Indian segment also. So it says in the next 3 to 5 years, generative AI could add $150 billion conservatively and up to 250 billion to the apparel, fashion, and luxury sectors. So this is very exciting. So this says it is going to be the operating profits as per the McKinsey. What do you think? I mean, how does it excite Indian fashion industry market here?
So I would agree with the report. I think these numbers are very conservative. The operating profits can be probably 3-4 times of what the numbers you're saying right now. Why? Because as I spoke to you, the timelines have reduced so much, so the turnovers have increased of all the brands, and as the turnovers are increasing, the operating profits are also getting better. So, you're talking about the Indian industry. So, Indian industry is, I would say, the next 10 years is for the Indian industry to boom. So that's where we'll see a lot of new brands coming in the Indian globe, uh, new systems, new customers, new articles coming into the Indian sphere. So I definitely agree to the report.
Awesome. One thing I forgot to ask in your previous question was that online industry. So online in fashion is also a space where India is very ahead than the parallel countries. So what do you say about that?
The ease of doing business in India right now is it's it's very easy right now to do business in India. So the lot of brands coming up in the Indian sphere. You'll see the lot of new brands like Snitch has come in and it's exploded exponentially. Mr. Beast is there. Then of course Azorte, and then Zudio. They're creating humongous market, and definitely because the exposure that we are seeing in the India market is huge. In the next 5 to 10 years, I think the Indian garment industry is gonna explode in terms of turnover, in terms of the units that we are selling. So definitely the online game is gonna be big for everyone.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. So Vaibhav, as you know that I have been into technologies for decades. You have been into fashion. So I think this is a very unique episode where fashion and artificial intelligence that talk is happening today. And so it would be halfway if I don't ask this question. That if I ask that is AI truly enhancing or influencing your customer experience and the design process? You mentioned that certainly it is reducing the cost, improving turnover, but in a very basic example, if you can tell that it is enhancing that customer experience, then it would be very helpful for our audience here.
It's a very, very interesting question. And, I would like to give you an example of how it's impacting. So let me go a little to the history of how it's done. So, when we go to a trend or a mood board, earlier we used, like I said earlier, we used to take so much of time. That has shrunk down to, we ask any of the AI tools, they give us a synopsis of what's going to happen.
Hmm.
A designer just need a lead of what's going to happen next, and then she or he can make his own range of it. Earlier, that brainstorming used to take months. Now it's taking hours probably. So that's the back end of it. So coming to the front side of it, AI is being utilized by a lot of brands, be it Amazon, be it IKEA, be it anyone, and it is actually enhancing the look and feel of that particular garment. So when a customer, from a customer point of view, when you see a thing looking good on a system, you tend to buy that product. So that's really helping the retail brands. And also, you have a preconceived notion that that product is going to look on me because that's how it's looking. So you make that in your mind that definitely it's going to look on me as well. So it's helping both the ends. It's helping the retailer as well as the end consumer. So definitely it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Great. I'm coming to the next question. See, for any business, especially the business which have been started in last few years, and they want to grow really multifolds. So trends and predictions are very important. That we are on top of what is happening around for any business. And as far as I understand, the fashion is always an area where this is in its core, that you have to read the predictions and the trend. So what do you think? I mean, what is your opinion? What role this plays in your industry?
See, that's AI is actually playing a huge role in this. So I'm actively involved in this with few of the brands, few of the UK brands. Uh, as we know that fashion repeats itself. Maybe that fashion will come after 2 years or 5 years or 10 years with a twist. So it always, like, for example, a polka dot. A polka dot comes after every 2, 3, 5 years, but with a twist. Maybe a animal inspired polka dot or exaggerated polka dot or things like that. So AI has been very efficient in predicting those trends, that next year, let's we are on polka dot, let's take that example forward, that this polka dot is going to be next trend but with a twist of animal print or with a floral print. So that interpretation, AI has been spot on for a very, very, I would say 80% of the time they are perfectly on spot, and that 20% error, that human can always solve that. And there is, I would not name the brands, but there are few brands who are actually using AI. So they're feeding the data to AI and telling them, then these are the best sellers of the last few seasons. So if I do these changes in this, so can I get a better result out of it? And AI comes back with a interpretation that he is 90% sure that this product is going to sell 80%. So that kind of numbers AI is, so they've started to throw these numbers, so which is great for any retailer. I mean, if they get a number that AI is confident enough that 80% of that particular product is going to sell through 70% or 80%.
Right, right.
So which is, it's going to be a game changer for any retailer.
Especially for the demographics like India has, where you said that fashion industry is going to explode. It is happening around now. So I think this would be very instrumental for that.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Vaibhav, I am coming to a very interesting round of this podcast now, and I will ask some question. It may be a little casual too. So, are you ready for that?
Of course, for sure.
Perfect. Which city in the world best represents the futuristic fashion aesthetic?
I would say Paris for the trends and New York for the diversity.
So, any city in India?
Not right now, but I'm sure Delhi or Gurgaon is gonna replace New York and Paris for sure in next 5 to 6 years.
Glad to hear that. So, what has been your favorite fashion decade?
For sure, 90s, hands down. I'll give you a little example why I say 90s. Because in 90s, you would see big collars, huge bell bottoms. So fashion is all about exaggerated things, or someone is going to look at you, but you are still comfortable in your attire. That's what is fashion. So that trend in 90s, um, I mean that's amazing. I mean how people carried those big collars
Yeah.
and bell bottoms, and they were still comfortable in their own sense. So yeah, I would say 90s is the best era for fashion.
You think that's going to come again soon?
Fashion repeats itself, as I said.
That's the
So
cycle.
definitely it's going to come back. But when? Let's ask the AI.
All right. So next. So how do you stay inspired in the fast changing fashion world in one word?
Traveling.
Awesome. If you had to choose one fabric for life, it would be.
I would choose two fabrics. One is linen for sure, because linen can be worn in any season. And second, which I call fabric of the future, which we are still using, is tencel. But if I have to pick one, I would say linen.
Which one is the eco-friendly?
Eco-friendly is linen,
Okay.
but tencel is also a cellulosic
Okay.
fabric. So yeah, tencel is N-methyl morpholine N oxide,
Okay.
which can be it can be broken down, and it can be degenerated as well. So yeah, I mean it's a sustainable fabric for sure.
So one personal question. When you get your day off, so where can I find you?
Playing with my daughter for sure.
Amazing. So I think we are done. Thank you so much, Vaibhav.
Thank
It
you
has
very
been a
much.
very interesting discussion, conversation. And as we are always friends, and whenever I have my time spent with you, it's a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, audience, for being so wonderful today. I hope you like this. This was a very unique podcast where we talked about fashion and technology together. Stay tuned. We are going to come again with very interesting subject you would like. In case you want any specific topic subject to be covered in our future podcast, please let us know. Share in your comments. Thank you so much.